Here, farts. Got some drinks in here. Here, farts. Got some drinks in here.
Girl, take your own advice. Quit messing with your hair. Hello, my name is Barry, and this is my bed. Do you have chronic bed rot? Welcome! And if you don't, that's perfectly fine. Here we like to binge TV and listen to true crime podcasts. I recap those types of things for you, so if you're interested, please follow. Today, we are recapping Gypsy Rose Blanchard Life After Lockup Season 1, Episode 5. This episode picks up where the last episode left off, and Ryan and Gypsy are talking about Ken and how he's trying to weasel his way back in. It's the day after Ryan went back to work, and then Gypsy told him, Ken's reaching out through Christy. The real reason why he left, so that she could find herself on her own. They have a voiceover, and Gypsy's talking about how Ryan thinks Ken's a threat. And meanwhile, they're showing Ryan and Gypsy their open up dog stuff, like leashes, toys, blankets, stuff they're not even going to use, like a collapsible water bowl for going on hikes. They don't go on hikes. I bought one of those thinking I would use it for when I just walk my dog at the park. I get tired before my dog does. No way they use that. The dog bag, to pick up poop. They don't pick up poop. Ryan walks Pixie on TikTok Live. He doesn't pick up dog poop. They don't need those bags. This is like overconsumption to the max. Gypsy gets up from the couch. They have like two little couches. She gets up to go and get her purse. And there's like 6 pillows on this couch. Why do you need so many pillows? So many monogrammed pillows. What is the purpose? More overconsumption. Gypsy says that she wants to work on things with Ryan, even though that they have issues with trust. And then they cut to Ryan, and he's telling cameras his guard's up because Ken's trying to come back around, but he doesn't think Gypsy will do that to him. She doesn't want it. I don't think. He's in complete denial. Because we know what happens. But it's funny to me that they did that. They show Gypsy talking about how we have issues with trust, and then Ryan talking about how he completely and wholeheartedly trusts her, believes her. What issues with trust? Gypsy shows Ryan like a dog clicker for a training a dog, which they didn't. I'm sure they didn't use that either. Overconsumption. He's like, I've never trained a dog. All I know is you put its face in its piss when it pisses on the floor. Oh, that's so mean. I know, but it works. When Ryan's looking down to like cut open stuff, you can see balding through his hair, like how thin his hair is, which he makes so many balding jokes at Ken. Ken has shaved his head bald and embraced it. He's embraced his baldness. Bald-headed hoe shit. But lo and behold, Ryan's balding too. Maybe case studies is right. He's on to something there. Ryan tells cameras that he was not expecting to get a dog today. They made one phone call and all of a sudden they're like, boom, here we are. We're meeting up and getting a dog. He says it's a milestone for him and Gypsy. He's always wanted a family to call his own ever since he was little. It was one of those where it's just me, my mom, and my brother. And my stepdad came in. There's the part where he's talking where he's like, I was growing up, it was me, my mom, and my brother.
I didn't have a dad, so it was one of those, it was me, my mom, my brother. And then my stepdad came in, and, then it became him and my mom, and, it was just one of those where I never...
He talks like that on his live sometimes, with his eyes all low, and he's all leaned back and head, big men are tired. My papa was a big man. They're just tired men sometimes. People are accusing him of using again, but he's just a big tired man. That's all. He exerts too much energy. They're getting ready to go get a dog. Gypsy's ready. Gypsy's got her coat on, drink in hand, purse around. And Ryan's stalling. He doesn't want to go, so he's looking in the cabinets. He did this last episode before he had to leave for his first day of work. She's standing there waiting to walk him to the car. And he's like, oh, I'll miss you, baby. While he's looking in the cabinets just to do something. And then hugs her goodbye. Here, he's doing it again. You want me to cook you up that burger? No, let's just go. And he opens the fridge. She gets impatient. She goes to stand and wait by the door. And then he's looking for his sweat towel. She grabbed his sweat towel as she walked out. I've got it. When I tell you I've got everything, I've got everything. My baby's on point. I love my baby. He goes to walk to the door and she leans up for a kiss. And he was like about to walk out and then leans in for a kiss to her. She initiated it. She still has long hair. And my theory is that when she has long hair, she still kind of had feelings for Ryan. When she chops that shit off, she was chopping off her feelings for Ryan. They're cutting them out. Get out of here. Short hair was her cue. Ken, I'm coming. Bleached it. Ken, I'm coming. Get ready for me. Someone got confused in my comments about me talking about the change in hair and all the scenes. Thank you, Lifetime. It is confusing because that's what happens. Like, it goes back and forth with her having short. We've seen episode 2, I think. No. Episode 3 ended with her having short hair. We haven't seen her with short hair yet. She's had long hair this whole episode, last episode. See what I'm saying? Episode 3 ended with them talking about how they didn't want to have their second marriage. She has short hair. She cut off her feelings for Ryan. They're gone. It might have got kind of confusing for that. It's just my theory that because she changes her hair so much every time she wants to change herself. Anyway, they end the scene with Gypsy talking about how they're bringing a fur baby in their life. We're bringing a fur baby in our life to help bring us closer together. Because that's how that works. Next, we're in Cutoff, and we see Christy and Rod sitting out on their porch, and they're talking about how Ryan contacted Rod while he was out on the boat. Texted him saying, I think Christy's stepping in the circle, and Rod called him back to talk to him, and he agreed. Christy says, we gotta think, Ken was a big part of her life, and he has a right to set the facts straight and speak his opinion. And Rod speaks sense, he chose not to be around, so let her have her freedom. Then he's going to come back around. He's going to give her this freedom to find herself, but then he's going to come back around and say, oh, well, I was doing this. Nah, I feel like he's trying to weasel his way back in. That's what Rod thinks. When Gypsy and Ryan did a podcast, well, you didn't hear it. I heard it. They dog him out. And he says, my story needs to be heard. And Rod's like, well, Gypsy and Ryan's relationship is fresh and fragile, so I just want her to be happy. Christy's like, well, I hope they last, but if they don't, we'll be there to pick up the pieces. Christy's already predicting the end of this marriage, basically. I mean, production asks Rod, while he's on his own, and says, what do you want to come of the Ryan and Ken situation? He's like, I want Ken to leave her alone, to move on from the situation. Have that closure. Stay quiet. Stay away. Give her and Ryan the best chance. But my gut feeling is he's trying to worm his way back in. Rod knows. Rod knows his daughter. I'm going to say it over and over again. That man knows, and he's covering for her. 100% covering for his murdering daughter. All right, we see Gypsy and Ryan again, and they're in the car on the way to go get Pixie. Ryan's like, I'm nervous. She's like, why are you nervous? Because it's a pup, Gyps. We're getting a puppy. It's a big deal. Gypsy doesn't look at it as a big deal. She's texting on her phone. And he's like, who you texting? I'm just texting my sister. I saw that address. What she want? What address? Scroll up. Right there. Oh, that's for the free stuff. Gypsy's still grifting and getting free stuff. She's not changed. Not one iota.
Okay. Well, I saw that. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's for the free stuff.
That's why I was like, who are you texting?
It gets more awkward from there because he's just reading over her shoulder while he's driving all her text messages. Absolutely no privacy at all. I mean, I don't like to defend Gypsy, but come on now. And he asks her if there's been any thoughts to reach out. For what? Has there been any desire to reach out to what's-his-face? You could say what's-his-face's name. Ken? No. No desire whatsoever. No, we're good. Okay, just wanted to know. I believe it. Situation's done, right? Situation's done. That's one reason I love you. It's weird because in episode 1, Gypsy was the one to use a code name for Ken. KU. KU texted Christy. KU. Ken Urker. But here, you can say what's his face's name. Defending him. He is a person. God, Ryan. What the fuck? The change up. Am I right? It's almost like some weird sick game also to hear him say Ken's name. It's a control thing. She goes back to her phone and he's reading her messages over their shoulder again.
What stuff you trying to get there?
I'm just texting my sister, honey.
She did not like that, but she tried to play it off calmly. I thought she did pretty well. It's like, just relax. I am relaxed. I'm just asking what's going on. And he acts all normal about it. Reading over someone's shoulder that they're private messages is okay. First time watching it, I defended him more. because I didn't realize the timeline of it really, because I just watched it so quickly. I'm not paying attention to the minute details, like the timeline of her hair. I just thought there was a bigger gap of her telling Ryan about Ken and Christy, but this has really been less than 12 hours. So I thought the paranoia had set in a little more for him, but he had literally just said he believes her. He has no issues, so I was offending him more because, we've all been there, like you've been cheated on, you check the phone, that type of thing, you're trying to read over their shoulder. I get it. The paranoia's been there. But if you think about it, it's a little different because he literally just found out about it. And she hasn't been acting too different yet. She cuts her hair off and she starts acting real different. And we know Ryan. We know Ryan believes anything Gypsy says. So he's been believing her. So I think that this is just a natural thing for him to do, to think that that's my wife's messages. I'm allowed to read my wife's messages. I just get a misogynistic vibe from Ryan. That's all. That's my wife. I can read her messages. Texting Rod instead of Christy about his issues with Christy. Instead of going straight to the source, he went to Rod, her husband, to say, get your wife in line. And then when they go meet the lady with the dog, he introduces himself. Hi, my name's Ryan. This is my wife. She ain't got no name. That's my wife. I'm Ryan. This is my wife.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Ryan.
Hi.
My wife.
Oh, hello, baby.
Yes,
Thank you for doing
text
that.
me, call me if you have any problem.
I don't know. That's just me. Ryan also hugged this woman. I thought that was weird. Is that just me? I don't hug strangers. And that woman asked to have her face blurred out. She didn't want to be a part of the show. Love that. That's when you can tell anti-Gypsy people on the show. They blur their face out. Ryan's actually the one that picked the name Pixie, which is good because she abandoned the dog and left the dog with Ryan. And Pixie took to him right away. She was like licking on him. And I noticed that Gypsy has a blanket for Pixie in the car, and this blanket is different than the one I saw her unwrapping in the earlier scene when they're opening all the dog stuff. So they have 2 blankets for this dog. Why do they need so many blankets for this little ass dog? Over consumption. Get home and show Pixie the place. This is your home. And we see Gypsy and she's talking to cameras while she's sitting on the bed. You know how I said they have the his and her pillows? Well, she's holding a matching pillow that says like the dog or something like that. So they got these pillowcases prior to getting a dog with the plans of getting a dog. So why was Ryan so upset about getting a damn dog? If you knew you were getting a dog, you had pillows for the dog already. They're playing this like upbeat pop music while they're playing with the dog and loving on each other. And Ryan has a voiceover and he's like, we don't focus on the past. We just live in the present. Focus on the future. That's why I love her so much. Ugh.
We don't live in the past. And that's one thing I love about me and Gypsy. We focus on the future and we live in the present.
Cut back to cutoff, and production gives us a little foreshadowing. They zoom in on a sign that's hanging like on a post on the porch of the Blanchard home that says, may your journey always lead you home. Meanwhile, they're discussing how Ken has weaseled into this marriage by proxy, Christy. And Christy's like, it's not like I don't like Ryan. I do. They had that love, but Ken was her first real relationship. Lord, I'm friends with all my exes. Rod doesn't even blink an eye at that. And he just keeps on going. Since Ryan got in the picture and got married, I thought we'd never hear Ken's name again, but I guess he just can't stay out of it. Christy says to Rod, well, now that she's got her closure and knows the real reason why things ended, I don't think we'll hear from Ken again. That's what she says. That's what she tells Rod. Bullshit, Christy. And she knows it too, because in a couple minutes she tells production something else. Rod says, all right, they got their closure. Let's close the book on Ken. Don't talk to him. Christy's like, I'm not getting involved. Well, do like I ask you. He's getting firm. He's getting pissed. You allowed that door to open. If Ken wants to reach out to Gypsy and communicate, then you should have told him, I can't help you. If something happens with Gypsy and Ken, it's going to be your fault. So Rod's telling her like it is. And he's setting a boundary and telling her, don't talk to Ken. And that's Rod's daughter. It's not Christy's. So she really doesn't have a right to be stepping in. But then production is sitting with Christy alone and they're asking Christy about it. What are your thoughts after all that? I'm not going to lie to Gypsy. She basically just bypass everything Rod just said. Lady, this isn't even your daughter. This is Rod's daughter. And she's just like, oh, well, that's what Dee Dee did to her, and I'm not going to do it. Oh, they show Christy's arm at one point, and you can see that matching tattoo she got with Gypsy. And she tells production the opposite of what she told Rod. She told Rod, remember? Well, now that she's got her closure, I don't think that Ken's going to be, we'll hear from Ken again. She tells production that in my gut, I don't think that book's fully closed. This woman, I can't, like, it pisses me off. Did Rod watch this show? Did he watch her just lie about everything to his face? Say, I'm not going to get involved. I think they're done. We're not going to hear from Ken again. And she tells cameras, I'm not going to lie to her. I'm going to tell her because that's what Dee Dee did. So I'm not going to do that. And in my opinion, in my gut, this isn't fully closed. He's coming back around. What the actual fuck? Look at her little ears poking out. Someone on my TikTok live made the joke that her ears made so many appearances in the show, they must have had a paycheck. All right, the next time we see Gypsy and Ryan, Gypsy has her hair cut. Her hair is cut. There's a time jump between getting Pixie and now this scene that we see Gypsy and Ryan in the car and they're on the way to Mia. Gypsy is saying that she's excited to hang out with Mia. And Ryan says he wishes that he could go because he can't stand to be away from her for 2 seconds.
Well, it's gonna be girl stuff. You wouldn't be interested.
You.
I wore these pants because I knew she'd be wearing leggings, and if she was gonna show off her body, I wanted to too.
Well, that's nice. You can tell he doesn't even know how to respond to that. It's such a weird thing to say, especially on TV. I think they cut part of the conversation out because the next thing that Ryan says is, I think them things on your chest got bigger.
She's got the flat stomach and the smaller boobs and the more athletic body, and I've got that stripper body.
That athletic build, and I've got that like I got that stripper body.
That laugh. Topic of conversation is so weird. Never would you ever catch me talking to my husband about the size of my sister's boobs. Is that just me? Gross. Then there's a voiceover of Gypsy and she's talking about how
If I were to rate myself, I'd rate myself a solid 6.
I remember seeing a replay of a TikTok live where Gypsy talks about how she paid $20 for an online test to rate her and she got a 6. Is that what she's talking about there? I think that's funny.
Sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, my mom's right. I'm not desirable.
Throwing more shade at her mom that she says she doesn't do.
I look at my sister and I'm like, you're so pretty. I wish I was born pretty.
Woe is me, and the sob story of poor ugly duckling Gypsy. And all the reasons why me is Gypsy's trigger. She's just laying them out for you. So they're driving along and they're talking about how Gypsy and Mia have actually never hung out one-on-one. So this is going to be their first time. So the first time they ever hung out one-on-one, it never really was one-on-one. There was cameras and production there. Have Gypsy and Mia ever hung out alone together? Trick question. In a little voiceover, Gypsy says that
I know we're 10 years apart and I'm the older sister, but in so many ways, she has more experience. So I go to her for advice.
more experience. What? What are you talking about? Don't let her talk shit about me.
She won't.
Yeah.
She doesn't. The only thing she says is sometimes she likes you and sometimes she's iffy about you.
Why do I feel like that's never come out of Mia's mouth before? They meet Mia at a gas station and Mia gets out to come and greet Gypsy at her door and she's like, oh, you look cute. And Gypsy says thanks, but doesn't say it back to her because Gypsy's jealous of Mia. That's why she doesn't say you look cute too. And I feel like it was because Mia showed up with the Holy Trinity. Leggings, a crop top, and blonde hair. All of Gypsy's triggers rolled up in one. She wasn't expecting the crop top, so you can just see the green-eyed monster on her as she's getting out of the car. And she eyes Mia up and down.
Like, hey girl.
And it was like gives her a forced hug. And then they transfer Gypsy like a child with divorced parents.
Cargo now.
I know. All right. Be careful.
Hey, go have fun.
Love you.
Love you, baby. Mwah.
Mwah. All right.
They get into Mia's car and I notice that Mia's car is different than season 2. If you're new here, I've already done season 2. So if you want to watch season 2 of me recapping season 2 of Life After Lockup, Gypsy Rose, you can watch that in the meantime while I try to get this out. Anyway, I went back to look at it. It's a new car. She had a brand new car by season 2, probably with the money she made from season 1 and her appearances that she made, riding off Gypsy's back and murdering her mom. That's another reason why I'm getting a little upset with Mia. She asks Mia how's school going. She's like, all right. I have my first exam on Monday.
Nursing is something you have the heart for. I know my experience with doctors and nurses isn't all that great, and I have a complicated history with it, but I think it's a good profession.
She asked about Mia and how school was going, and it seemed like Mia had something to say. She was like, all right, she's got an exam. But Gypsy just takes over the conversation and brings it back to her and her experience with nurses and doctors. But,
It's a good profession at least.
this is my show, and we must talk about me, Trigger. And honestly, if you were treated so badly that you were abused by doctors and they committed malpractice on you to where you should have a lawsuit out against them for millions of dollars, I'm curious why your sister wants to go into that profession. I know.
It's a good profession.
She kind of segues that into talking about herself some more, or maybe it's just editing, but she says she made her appointment for her, it's like a pre-appointment for her nose job. Gypsy talks about how she doesn't like her profile of her nose, and Mia starts to go in and say how, I hate my profile too. Mia tries to pipe in and say she doesn't like her profile either. She's like, Dad screwed us. And people are so mean about it. That's what Mia says. When Gypsy brings it back to herself, I saw a video of them talking about me online. That someone called me a
Big nose, beady-eyed, Ninja Turtle looking bee.
I feel like Mia might have actually had real bullies in real life that made fun of her nose. You could have avoided that video. You didn't have to watch that video, so you wouldn't have had to deal with someone bullying you or being mean to you about your nose, because you don't have to watch the hate videos about you. Your mom kept you out of school, so you weren't bullied at school, right? Were you bullied in prison with your nose? You should have brought that up, but you didn't. You didn't. Gypsy and Mia go get a pedicure, and the salon they go to in Lafayette is called Polished.
Short little legs.
Did you hear that witch laugh?
It's short little legs.
That was the most perfect cackle if I ever heard one. Gypsy says this is her first time getting a pedicure. Is that true? Is that one of those things, where she says she didn't ever have a Barbie doll and then we see all those pictures of her with Barbie dolls? Or when she said that she's never been on a swing, but then we see pictures of her on a swing? Has she had a pedicure? Gypsy's like all ooh la la over the massage chair, and Mia's like, this is your first time in a massage chair? That's crazy. Well, Mia, what's so crazy about it? According to y'all, Gypsy's been abused her whole life to the point where she was chained to a bed and then went to prison for 8 years. Sounds like somebody who's never been in a massage chair, right? You'd say, according to Mia, that's crazy. You've never been in a massage chair? That's crazy. So crazy.
Oh my goodness, it feels nice. So
The face Mia makes is the face you make to your child when your child thinks they're doing something funny and you're like, oh, you're cute, because this is something that's only funny to a child and not funny to a grown-up. Ryan asked Gypsy to not let Mia talk about him, but here we go. Here goes Gypsy. She's the one to start her up. Let's get the wheels moving. Talk some shit.
Things are starting to get a little weird.
What happened?
You know how everyone told me you don't know someone until you live with them? Well, I'm learning that.
Mia's like, yeah, we told you, bitch.
Doesn't change my love for him, but he snores like a grizzly bear. And I sleep with earplugs.
And Mia goes, earplugs? She doesn't say that, but her face says it. How dare he snore? How dare you have to wear earplugs? It's horrible. Tragedy. Is that a deal breaker? Like, you love somebody and then you find out that they snore? Is that a problem? Or is that first date questions? Do you snore? Oh yeah, end the road. Divorce. He snores.
I'm not going to say he's a hoarder, but there's a lot of clutter. I hate clutter. My mom was a hoarder. It's a problem for me. It's an OCD thing.
When was it known that her mom was a hoarder? Is that a thing? Like I said in my last video, there was a room in their most recent home that had seemed like there was a hoarder in the home, but that was from like 2007 on. What about the beginning of her life? There's no stories of hoarding. Hoarding stems from a tragedy or a trauma with most people, and they don't want to lose things. They don't want to get rid of things. And I think it started up after Hurricane Katrina for Dee Dee. But she kept her home clean until I think she had Parkinson's. There are theories she had Parkinson's at the end of her life and she wasn't able to take care of herself or keep up with her home. She continues to go on about how he's got so many clothes, he has all this stuff. She made a bag and he's like, here, if you don't want this, it goes here and it's going to Goodwill. So she made him go through all his clothes and get rid of them.
It's still so much stuff. Right now it's just a difference in personalities, and sometimes I just need to go outside and get away. Get this me time.
You mean smoke a cigarette?
Things are getting weird between Ryan and Christy.
Why? Because of Ken?
Yeah.
Mia says that she knew that was going to happen, and she doesn't know why Christy did that. Not defending her mom.
It's just one of those things where we were talking about it and led into it so easily, and it was kind of out of left field.
Yeah, I talked to Ken the other day for like 2 hours. And this is a contradicting conversation if you really think about it, okay? Listen closely.
It was just one of those things where we were talking about it and it led into it so easily. It was kind of out of left field.
So did it lead into it so easily that she brought up Ken? Or was it out of left field? Which one was it, Gypsy? You can't even make up your story straight within a sentence.
It's one of those things that we were talking and it led into it so easily, and it was kind of like out of left field. Yeah, I talked to Ken the other day for like 2 hours.
She goes on to tell Mia about how, Ken told Christy about why he left and how he needed her to find herself on her own,
and he made the ultimate sacrifice.
Who do you think you are? The ultimate sacrifice is leaving you? What is this, like Gypsy's the prize?
So she's like, he made the ultimate sacrifice by he loved you so much that he let you go. And then that got me crying. I'm like,
she says she told Ryan about this.
Not only does Ken regret breaking up with me, but he's single too.
And leaves a long pause for Mia to say something, the aha moment. And then Mia doesn't say shit.
He also is single too. Oh, his reaction.
His reaction was something to the fact of.
It's something to the effect of, nitwit. Right? Isn't that the proper phrasing? Something to the effect of?
Reaction was something to the fact of he thinks Christy's trying to sabotage our marriage. It's a slap in his face.
Christy's trying to sabotage our marriage. It's a slap in the face. So he texted Dad.
They cut to Ryan, and he's telling cameras that he's upset with what Christy is doing, so he reached out to Rod. And Rod told him that if Christy mentions Ken's name again, then she's in trouble. See? The misogynist is misogynizing. You get what I'm trying to say? Oh yeah, I put her in her place. My wife won't speak out of turn again.
Wish they would stop trying to protect her and trying to look for reasons for her to leave me.
She's doing that all on her own. Yeah, Christy gave her a reason to leave Ken, but they're not coming up with reasons for Gypsy to leave. She's doing that on her own. She's sitting there bitching about you at the salon. I think Gypsy wanted this girl's day to get away, vent about Ryan, see what her sister said about it, and get a new wardrobe. Mia gets angry that Ryan involved Rod. Why does he have to go get Dad involved when he could have just gone straight to Mom? And Gypsy says, well, he's just not comfortable. And Mia, the look on her face, she's not buying it. Because he thinks Rod needs to put his wife in her place. That's his duty as a husband. That's why he went to Rod. Gypsy says Ryan can't go to her.
Because I'll just say, quit bashing Mom.
Which I noticed that during this whole conversation, she was referring to Christy as Christy, and this is the first time she referred to her as Mom. I wonder if she gets uncomfortable calling her Mom around Mia, because it's not her mom. It's Mia's mom. Gypsy says she told Ryan that she cried, and he was like, well, if you want to go be with him, then go be with him. And she mocks him again. And the only reason I think she's making fun of him when she's mocking him like this, because this is the second time on the show she's done it, saying that statement. And I think it's because she has this evil little smirk on her face when she does it. She thinks it's funny that he said that.
And he's like, well, do you want him? Go be with him. If that's what you want, now's the time to tell me. Like,
did you think about it?
I mean, no.
The whole time they were talking, the woman was doing Mia's feet. She moves over to Gypsy's feet and she tries to put her toes in like one of those divider things, and she struggles to get Gypsy's pinky toe in the thing, and the cameramen zoom in on it. And they put it in the show too. Not only do they zoom in on it and they capture it on camera, they put it on the show. Not even the cameramen like Gypsy. Mia asked if she's thought about it, as in like going to Ken. She's like, no. Well, that wasn't really convincing. She's like giggling like a little girl when she says no.
I can't think about anything else but this marriage. As much as I love Ryan, part of me wonders if me pushing this marriage in prison, did I change my fate?
Yeah, bitch, that's what marriage does. It is a big, life-changing decision. You change your fate. Either you get married or you don't. You're a married woman or you're not. What? Not only is that crazy, but she also says that I pushed this marriage. Pushing this marriage in prison. Me pushing this marriage in prison. She pushed him into this marriage. And y'all are going to be in the comments like, Barry, it's in the emails. Yeah, I haven't read all the emails.
Or like together, a part of me wonders that like me pushing a wedding and getting married in prison, did I change the course of my fate?
Why do you think she pushed the marriage? I think it's because she wanted a place to go after prison, not at the Blanchard home. I think at the time that she was pushing this marriage, something was going on between her and Christy and Rod. And that's why she didn't want to go to the Blanchard home, and she needed somewhere to go. So she pushed a marriage so she would have somewhere else to go. In my opinion, she rushed impulsive decisions. Histrionic personality disorder, HPD. We see Mia and Gypsy in the car again, and they have a bunch of like boutique bags in the back seat of the car, like they just got done shopping. Mia asked Gypsy if she set up her OBGYN appointment yet, and she says no, she had to set up with a primary care physician first. I think Mia wants her on birth control, like ASAP, because that was all a fiasco, that story. So they're talking about her doctor's appointment, and Gypsy out of nowhere says,
You know the sucky part is, I still haven't orgasmed with a partner yet.
what about the D is fired, Gypsy? What happened with that? Mia's trying so hard not to laugh.
Is I still haven't orgasmed. I've never orgasmed with a partner.
Mia asks if she can orgasm herself, and she's like,
I don't even know that.
and Mia's like, I did not sign up for this conversation.
Can you orgasm by yourself?
I don't even know that.
Okay.
Okay, is this a normal conversation for sisters to have? Because I've never been close to my sister, and I would never have this conversation with her, ever. But are you close to your sister in a different way? Would you talk to your sister like this? I'm genuinely curious. I'm not bashing at all. I have no idea because I'm not close to my sister. I thought this is like conversations you have with friends. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine my brother telling me shit like this. Oh. Conversation is so icky to me. She says she has a past history with molestation, so she has those mental blocks to get past. Setting the narrative up for Ken to be the only one to, do it for her. You didn't seem to mind getting through those mental blocks in the FOIA videos, did ya? I heard you got down and dirty with an electric toothbrush. Plus, you were showing us all your lingerie, so you don't really have many sexual mental blocks, do you? You're just wide open with that shit. And Mia doesn't really know how to respond to this stuff. She tries, give her that. But Gypsy cuts her off and says, and something happened. What? Sure, she dropped her face. Comes out, she tells her that Ryan jizzed in her donut. She's like, are you pregnant? And then it cuts to Rod. He's working on his boat, doing something, talking to the camera. He says he doesn't want Christy or himself to be involved in anything. He wants to be there for her and for her to make the right decision for her heart. But she's 30 years old and she's making 17, 18-year-old type decisions. And I think it's funny that they randomly spliced this episode like that. Like, here we are, Gypsy and Mia talking about how Gypsy's been unsafe while sexually active and could be pregnant. And then cut to her dad saying she's making 17, 18-year-old type decisions. Yeah. You're sitting here talking about your ex, how you're fantasizing about being with your ex. Meanwhile, you're trying to get pregnant with your husband? What is going on? Her dad's saying she's making childish decisions. Meanwhile, she's talking about how she doesn't know how sex works. Cut back to Gypsy and Mia, and Mia's like, did you take anything? She's like, no. Mia's getting anxiety. She's stressing out. She's like, you can't be pregnant right now, Gypsy. And Gypsy's just laughing at her.
Gypsy, you cannot have a kid right now.
Mia tells her that she can still take something. Has it been 72 hours? She's like, no. Well, do you want to take something? It seems like you don't care. Well, I don't care. It didn't happen last month. You did this last month?
And one time that it was an accident, but it didn't result in anything.
It doesn't matter.
She really gets joy of causing stress on people. Seriously. She says she wants to start a family, but she wants to make sure her and Ryan are good before having a kid.
I have a full plate right now and I can't donate my time solely to raising a child at this point.
Oh, 3 months later, I guess it's okay and you're ready to have a kid with Ken. Mia starts to remind her of all the things she has planned to get done. You know, you're getting your teeth done. You're getting your nose done. You can't be pregnant when you do those things.
Like, oh yeah, when you get rhinoplasty, you can't be pregnant. We might need to go get a pill.
There's all jokes and giggles, you know, until she finds out she can't get her nose job. Then it's all seriousness and let's go get plan B. Abort mission.
No,
Okay.
just as a precautionary.
You want to call him right now?
Sure. Okay.
She does a FaceTime. She loves doing FaceTimes. I wonder if that comes from her relationship with Nick. Because they always sent videos to each other. If they had both had smartphones, I bet you they would have been FaceTime each other all the time.
What do you mean?
Our little tussle in the sheets.
Oh my God, baby. It's our business.
So she tells Ryan that she's going to get the pill, and he doesn't seem too bothered by it. He laughs at it at first because it's not even going to work. He just, they tell him it's 72 hours, and he's like, oh, well, do what you're going to do. He didn't sound upset about it. He sounded upset that she told Mia. Gypsy gets off the phone and laughs. She's like, he's so mad.
He's so mad.
He's mad?
I can just tell he's not happy.
There she is again, laughing at people's displeasure. So she's telling Mia, he's not happy that I told you. She's like, it's not like you're going to tell me all about your all sex life all the time, but this was important that you got this advice from me, and you learned that, you could take it up to 72 hours. She's being a total mom. They show the girls at Mia's house, I guess. I don't know if it's Mia's house. They show it again in season... They show it later again in the season, but it's a really nice house for a college student. So, I don't know.
I will pull out from now on, no worries.
Well, from now on, you should have been doing that all this time.
She's the mom, that's for sure. Gypsy goes to get the pill and she takes it. She throws a little hissy fit that it's $40 for one pill. It's ridiculous. But in my state, last time I bought it, it was $60. So, and it didn't even work.
Pill.
Yes.
$40 for one pill. That's ridiculous.
It's either $40 for that one pill or thousands of dollars down the road. What do you want?
You're right.
See, look at Mia saying all the things a mom or a mom friend would say to you. She's like, down the hatch. Dinner. She takes the pill and it looks like it gets stuck in her throat or something because it takes way too long to swallow.
Cheers. Not getting pregnant.
Mia says, I'm glad you were smart enough to take something. She actually says that to her. I continue the conversation that the reason why she's doing this is because her and Ryan aren't in a good spot. Not the nose job, not the rhinoplasty. It's because she's not in a good place in her marriage right now. That's why she shouldn't be having a kid. Her Uber arrives. I guess it's too late for Mia and Ryan to do their late night meetup. Divorced parents switch. she had to get a ride. Mia tells cameras that today was different. And different's it's a nice word for it, Mia. She never had a sister to go shopping with or get her nails done with. So she doesn't have anything to compare it to. So I guess she doesn't know also if this is weird for a sister to talk to you about. Like, I feel like I'm getting a sister and a friend. That's for sure. I feel like she's saying that because the conversations they had were not sister to sister comfort level. It was more of a friend. Like, you talk to your friends about juices and orgasms. Mia helps Gypsy out to the Uber with all her bags. Like, all the bags must have been Gypsy's. I don't think did Mia get anything? I really feel like this is when she's already decided she's leaving Ryan. She cut her hair. She went on her girls' day to bitch about Ryan, get a new wardrobe to change who she is. Mia took her out shopping. Like, you know that show, What Not to Wear? Did you ever? I used to watch that with my mom whenever I was younger, and they like teach you how to dress when you don't know how to dress. That's what Mia did with Gypsy. How to shop for clothes for you. It was giving that for sure. Mia got nothing out of this trip. She didn't buy any clothes. She got a pedicure. Out of it. She didn't even get to vent about her exams or her school. Gypsy just talked about herself the whole time. This was all for Gypsy to talk and get advice, not Mia. Gypsy hugs her goodbye and says, "All right, baby." Like, what? It was weird.
All right, baby. I love you.
All right, I love you too. Be careful.
Gypsy goes to get in the car and slips and almost falls. And Mia's like, "Don't fall." Like, the most dead face, no emotion, no worry or anything.
All right, don't slip. All right, love you.
Love you.
The cab driver didn't want his face on camera. Love that. Anti-Gypsy. Whoop, whoop. Oh, which reminds me that earlier when Gypsy called Ryan to talk about the plan B, and he's like, "What are y'all doing?" And she's like, "We just left." And then the show had to blank out the name of the shopping boutique they went to, which is another thing. They didn't show the shopping, but they showed them with the boutique bags in their car. So it makes me feel like when they called to ask, like, "Hey, can we as camera crew come up here into your boutique and film this?" And they said no, and they wanted nothing to do with this show. They didn't even want their name on the show. No. Love that. Good for them. You do not need that representation. I guess the camera crew went home when Gypsy went home from Mia's house, because the next time we see her, like, it's like a black screen and it says "later that night." And a homemade video that Gypsy made.
I'm flipping out because I told my sister about
No, you
our
told the
different
world
things.
about it. Not your sister, the world.
Well, I didn't think about that you were a teacher. I didn't think about it in that context.
And he storms out the door and she makes a face. He comes back in and she starts filming again.
You are freaking out, and then you're switching up because
I'm not switching up because I'm on camera. I'm mad at you.
She's making a Nora pasta side, and he's like, "I don't know why you gotta film this." She's like,
Because this is real life shit.
he says that she shouldn't have told Mia that stuff. It's private. And that they should work that out between the two of them.
it's the same way that my mom made me feel whenever I would talk to people. Because don't talk to your dad. Don't tell him this. If I tell my dad too much, she would act like you're acting.
She's playing the mama trauma card. She's using that to her advantage. Playing the victim, which is her MO. Ryan says, "Don't do that. I'm not going anywhere. Don't compare me to that. Don't compare me to that. I didn't pull my love away. I'm right here."
I'm not saying you're pulling your love away. I'm just saying you're mad at me because I confided in someone.
I'm mad at you, man.
I'm not mad you confided in Mia. I'm mad you confided on national television. I wonder if he said that part about him, like, "I'm not pulling my love away," because that's what Gypsy said her mom would do when she was mad at her. Gypsy said, "I never said you were withholding your love, but it was implied when you said you're acting like he's acting like your mom, right?" And so he's like, "I'm not doing that." She's oblivious to it because it never happened. She's the one that withholds love from people when she's mad at them. She projects, in my opinion. Timestamp on screen that says it's the next day. Gypsy's sitting in a chair on her phone and Ryan's packing a pack of cigarettes. And a voiceover of Gypsy says that he needs to understand that she's lived her whole life in a cage.
He needs to understand that I have been living my whole life in a cage.
With my mom, I felt powerless. And when I feel powerless, my reaction is to take back control.
Yeah, we know this, Gypsy. You lost control with your mom, so you had her unalived. And in my opinion, you played a major role in the actual act of the unaliving, and someone took the fall for you.
I'm just looking for red flags and maybe I'm overanalyzing.
Girl, you could say that. You were looking for every reason in the book to leave Ryan.
But I need to make sure I take care of myself.
She goes outside, I guess to smoke a cigarette or something. There's a voiceover of Ryan talking about how he has to watch out for her traumas and triggers. And he hates making her feel that way. She's using that against you because she wants to leave you. You didn't hit no trauma trigger. Her trauma trigger is Mia. And her mom didn't make her keep shit from her dad. They knew everything. We know this because of the Facebook messages that have come out. Dee Dee would Facebook message Rod every time she went to the doctor and stuff. They knew everything. They were trying to contact Rod, and he was actually ignoring her at a time that she was in the hospital. Gypsy tells cameras that Ryan gets in his emotions and wants it to be just the two of them, but I'm going to talk to my family. And when they show her talking, it's like a voiceover, and she's standing outside and she's on her phone and she's reading this long message, like 2 long messages. And we watched this on my TikTok live, and I told y'all I was going to zoom in and try to see who it's from, what it says. I can't. That's too blurry. I can't see anything. I'm so upset.
But I will say that if there comes a time that I see that I am being controlled, I'm leaving.
Then cut to Dallas, Texas. Production goes to Texas to interview Ken, and on camera, you see a black screen, and it says that Ken has never done an interview before with anybody. This is his first one. Oh my God, it's such a big deal. They mic him up and they sit him down at this table, and I want to note that there's a chess set on the table in the background, and I recognized it. I swear that's the same chess set that Gypsy's always playing in season 2. Did they steal that chess set from that Airbnb? He sits down at the table. His leg is going a mile a minute. He's shaking like this, which he says he has ADHD, so maybe that has something to do with it. He says he's never done an interview before because he didn't want to be a part of the media circus. And then a production member off camera says, well, it's a super circus now. Idiot. What the fuck are you coming into it now for? Makes no sense. Yeah, it's crazy. She's blown up even more than I ever thought she could or wanted to. I think he realized he made a blunder with his wording there. He thought this would blow up and he could be a part of it, which is why he's back.
It is. It's crazy. You know, she's blown up more than I ever thought she could, or wanted her to.
They show a clip of him playing with his dog Parker outside, and he's talking about how he always wanted a husky growing up, and he loved the movie Balto, and he wanted to name it Balto, and Gypsy loved that idea, so they bonded over it. She loved that movie as well. Yeah, she told me that was her favorite dog as well, and she wanted a husky as well.
That movie as well. And, she actually told me that was her favorite dog as well, and that she always wanted a husky as well. We actually planned on that for our future, that we were going to get a husky.
So one of the main components to their relationship is that they both wanted a husky. Someone on production asked him if they were together when he got his dog, because they cut that out. He just says, no, we weren't together when I got Parker. That was years after our separation. Not a breakup. A separation. Production asks, why now? Why do you want to do this now? Well, now that I've been more separated from her than ever, and it's important for me to share my thoughts and opinions on her and the time we spent together, and everything will unfold as it should.
Her and the time that we spent together, and everything will unfold as it should.
And that's how the episode ends. He's a snarky little shit. Did you see the smile, like the little smirk on his face when he said, and things will turn out as they should? Now that he's inserted himself, he knew all he had to do was make an appearance and she would come a-running. Gypsy is a planner, and she's planning to leave her husband, that's for sure. I think Gypsy cutting her hair was a public call to Ken to say, hey, I'm ready for you. And then he asked to be on the show with production. They came and interviewed him, and that was his go-ahead to Gypsy, like, I'm coming. I'm waiting. So that was her. She knew when he came on the show that he's ready for her. She just had to find a reason to leave. What do you guys think? Some people think she was talking to Ken the whole time, which he kind of implies with his interview with production. We'll get into that next episode. If you like this video, could you please like this video? I'm sorry for the delay. Like, editing and writing takes up a lot of time. I'm not gonna lie. But it's so fun to do. I like making videos for you guys. So if you like this video, please share this video, like this video, copy link this video, whatever you do to help the algorithm. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you got to bed rot at least once this week. Hold on for one more day.